Hello everybody, I'm Giuseppe Basili, also known as the FibStalker. Thanks for joining, and in this video I'm going to do a daily and intraday review, but it's going to be a little bit longer because we're going to cover some other opportunities that are popping up, and of course we're going to review the dollar index, also what's going on there as well. Today is May the 15th, 2018, and this is part of the FibStalker Analysis and Trading Service. As usual, if you are it's the first time you're watching this video, please stop and here and read and accept the usual disclaimer. All right, so let's dive into the markets. I'm going to start from the dollar index, and in here I'm only using the smart money models. We're seeing we have seen this market actually responding to the 92.80 area, which is the next extension short, and so there was a possibility for this move lower here to continue. But what it seems today is that this area is being challenged here, and there is a possibility for this market to get above the 94. Now if that happens, we could see a retrace, but that would rule out the continuation on the extension. So at that point it will become much more probable for this market to go and test the next measured move. Okay, so there was no extension holding this price. The only level we can find here on the weekly, it's a traditional measured move, and that's what we're going to use here. And as you can see, the first target is at 93.75 and the second target 94.51, well above that 94 area. Okay, so that's what's going on, and obviously all the majors, and we're going to go very quickly on through them, are actually reflecting the same behavior. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar here very close to the target, which is 68.45 level here. 68.55 was my target, so that has been reached, and now we'll see how this market behaves on top of this area of potential support here. $100 US dollar had broken the sequence of measured move shorts, but due to the strength in the dollar index, this area is being challenged again, and we will see whether that holds or not. If it doesn't, then we're going to see a continuation lower here, and then possibly a market trading in extensions. Euro dollar is also continuing lower, very close to a very strong area of support here. That's the next extension long, lows to highs here. The previous one held price and broke price into the first target. So the next measured move is just below price 17.87. The market could dip into this level, this area a little bit, and we will see whether that is going to hold or not. Pound is also weak here and resumed its selling, and the extension short that we had with the anchor at 140.02 never came into play here, and this market here actually has had some sequences of measured moves here, and if you remember, we have used the highs to highs here, never got into the second target, and likewise for the euro, that 133.92, it's looming just below prices here, so that area could offer resistance. So someone was trying to short this market here. It may not be ready for shorts as well, although is trading previous highs, and the main reason is the action that we're seeing in the dollar index. So it's very we have to be very careful in this market. The next measure move, if we get a deep retrace, would be 98.50, but that would require really weakness in the dollar index to happen probably. So the Canadian dollar has resumed its move higher, so it's being pushed higher by the weekly longs that have traded, and let's not forget that they have traded back at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, 2017, and that's the 50% short that we are seeing here. That's what's pushing this price higher. the opposing measure move here never was capable of bringing price into that first target. So at this point we're going to stick with the previous move that found participation, and that's the area where price could find participation if it continues higher. Okay, on the upside we have support from weekly longs, and that has been confirmed a few weeks back. Lows to highs. Initially I was not looking for this to hold, and then the opposing measure move failed. So clearly in here there are bulls that are in control, at least on the smaller time frame, and you know, they confirmed that control recently when on the daily time frame they respected the 2762, which also has targets around previous lows, previous highs. Right, so Japanese yen is also continuing higher. Dump money also very much agreeing with this, and therefore at this point, you know, we know this is a lateral move. Okay, so we still have the upper bound here 112.31, and that's where this market could get to before you're gonna see what happens around that level. There's also Singapore dollar, which I use also as a proxy of the dollar index here, has held the next extension long, and that gives very clear targets above 135.58, and because this is an extension, even 136.70. Okay, so if the dollar index continues higher, that's the kind of projection we can see on these markets if that continues. All right, so I want to review very quickly gold. There was a very important development in gold, and I want to show that to you. That's the this is the gold mini contract, futures contract, and the important development here has been the break of the 1295 level. We have mentioned this level a number of times, and this is very important because the 1310 area is gone now. There's nobody there. I mean, there was support 1311 for some time, but now that support is gone. So the next level is going to be 1269. If you're short gold, you should keep that short until we get into, at least until we get into this area. Okay, so this is a consolidation. The bulls here have been buying at higher prices, so we need to see whether that continues or if there is a change in character in this market. Okay, I want to review silver. Silver is very similar, a little bit weaker, and it's continuing lower here. Now let's review some markets where we could have new opportunities here, or opportunities that we had identified already and they're trading. The euro pound has the 88.26 area of resistance here, has traded again, and we know that that's the next measure move short. So if this continues, 85.22 is the level to watch. Another market that seems interesting to me is the Canadian dollar Japanese yen here, which has the 86 area here as an area of resistance. That's also the next, the 50% short here from highs to lows, and we know that this market also has, you know, larger weekly and monthly participation short than 90.70. So although this market has been bought in the 81-86 area, this 86.07 is a potential area of resistance, and next a measure move short here, which could bring price into the 78 area. The euro Japanese yen is also trading shorts here. We had seen already on the weekly time frame the participation of the shorts here. There was the highs to lows here 3 weeks ago. Highs to lows as traded and pushed price lower, and now we are seeing actually today and yesterday. So yesterday we saw the 50% short on the daily trading as well, which is a confirmation of the continuation lower here. Okay, so we have a 50% participation short on the weekly, a continuation short and participation short on the daily here in the 131.37 with targets below that help price. The first one would be at 128.20, and that level would be an extension long here from the gap. Sometimes these areas here come into participation, so that's the reason why it is there. And the fact that the first target lines up with that level, it adds to its importance as well. Okay, so Euro Japanese yen is a short. The other market that could be in play here is the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Let me show you why. This market had a sequence of measure move higher, and that has failed. We had lows to highs into first and second target, and the 50% also came into play here again, and then the next measure move failed, right? And that's when the move lower started. So we had the highs to lows trading here, and broad pricing to the first and second target, and the sequence then failed, although not on top of a 50% long. And now the market came to trade into the 50% short. Okay, so that's a possibility for this market, 50% short and continuation lower for several days here into the bottom of the range, which is 103.01. Okay, that's not another opportunities that is shaping up right now for this market. Okay, so let's have a look also at the Euro Swiss franc. This market has been very technical after the Franco-Geddon here, the actually drop of 20% of all the currencies trading against the Swiss franc after the Swiss National Bank has removed the peg to the euro in at the beginning of 2015. So so the way we modeled this measured move here was an extension that found participation around 107.09, first and second target hit. So the next measured move was also an extension, and there was highs to highs that was respected at the beginning of the year and brought price into the first target. So this is a very extended move here, and therefore the way we're gonna model this using smart money only here is going to look for an inner measure move here, and that will bring price. That would mean that would be smart money trying to test and see whether they want to establish a position long around the 1780. Okay, so at the moment I'm looking for a continuation lower to previous size here, 180 to 170.80. Another market I also want to review is the pound versus Swiss franc. We have seen this market trading, trying to trade traditional measure move longs here, and the first measure move here has not held at the beginning, and then held 123.33 area here, brought price into first target, and the next measure move came into play here, lows to highs, and traded to the pip here and brought price into that first target. Okay, so what can we anticipate here in this market? Of course, when we look at the weekly time frame here, we can of course anticipate the next 50% trading here. However, we also have to not forget that this is a very extended move, so we use the notable anchors here, and that's what has been trading at the moment. Okay, so this market is still holding the 134 135 area here. One important thing to note though, let's never forget that this market is also trading the opposing 50% short. So if the 134 14 level gives up. So if price breaches that level, then it means that the shorts are in play here, and we could see much lower prices in this market. New Zealand dollar. Where is this market going? The weekly were in play, have been in play for almost 1 year here. The shorts at 150, retested recently at the beginning of the year and brought very quickly price into the opposing 50% long. That also has been holding in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times here, and now it's being tested for the 7th time, and it's giving way. Now if this level pierces, then there are targets in this market much lower into the 63.10 area, believe it or not. Okay, of course, this market is going to offer retraces if that happens. So I'm looking for here it's a break of the 74.61 and then a trade short. At that point, we could keep that for a few weeks, a few months, many months actually, and try to bring it down to 63. Okay, so I want to remind to all of you that the real money in forex, but also in other markets like stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, it's in the larger moves. Okay, we all like to be excited and try to get as many pips as we can from the smaller time frame, but that's not how this game works. That's for beginners traders. If you want to be serious about trading and actually build skills and build an account and multiple accounts that can help you with your retirement, or even better, can help you leave your job and do this as your main activity, then you have to start focusing on what really counts and what is important and how professionals are playing this game, which is basically moving to the larger time frames. All right, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in the room, or I'll see you in the mastermind, and I'll try to publish some charts and my view, my takes on some of the markets and the charts that we've published today. Thank you, and see you later. Bye bye now.